It's EKD. It's EKD. Thank you for joining me. If you've not seen our last video, then you've got to see it. You've got to see it. I was looking for, this series we've been doing. There are series on my real life projects, and I've been looking for one. I wanted you guys to see one of them. This is not recent, but I wanted you guys to see it. There is something I want you guys to see from this one in particular. So I had to go and look for it. To really look for it. So anyway, I found it, and these guys, they do. It's a fintech company, financial tech company. If you don't know what it is, I can relate it with you. If you've heard of the word OPay, if you heard of the word OPay, they are typically companies that serve as a mini bank. If you heard of the word POS, point of sale, POS. So these kinds of companies. So these guys, that's what they do typically, and their name is Payama. The name is quite funny. It's just a concept I want you guys to get from this, so that when you're making your logos, you can apply it, because these things are dynamic. They change. You can't use one single idea for your logos. You just get to see something that needs a different idea. All right. So like I said, I have different packages, and this one is not my full package. All right, it's not my full package. So the content is not much, but the logo, the mark, trust me, the mark is still standard. And unique. All right. So Payama. I've told you it's a fintech company. It's a fintech company in Lagos, Nigeria, and they plan. And one thing about fintech companies is that they are mobile related. So when you think about logos that are mobile related, you don't want to do something that is very complex. It's just something that is very simple, because they would appear on maybe an app icon. So you don't do something that is very complex, so that people can easily see it. All right. So this is what we have. You can see the first. I like organizing mine like this. If you've noticed, and if you've noticed, I like the color orange. If you've noticed, I like the color orange because most times, but not necessarily, I don't. But just because of the project. I don't normally use orange all the time, but just because of the project I have to handle. Okay, you know what brand identity does? Just telling the story. If you don't know what brand identity is, it is just telling the story of a brand. A brand's story. Do you understand? A brand story. Brand identity design is simply telling the story of a brand using what? Design. All right. So most time orange will likely just work for me. And this is yellow. This is not orange. It is deceptive though. But I think I'd call it yellow. It's a yellow for me. Depends on the kind of screen you are using. Some screens might likely change your color, but this is yellow. This is not orange. This is yellow. All right. This is yellow. So I thought of it. Payama. Trust me, this is very difficult. This was difficult for me. It was difficult for me to come up with this concept. It was very difficult. So I was sketching. How do I do this? And you know the way I like my logos to look. I like them to be conceptual, to carry what the brand does. All right, to show what the brand does. Not all my logos necessarily, but I like my logos to look that way. So I sketched, and I finally came up with this. I finally came up with this. I would like you to see this properly. Okay, I would like you to see this properly. So this is pay hammer. This pay hammer right here. Or let's use this. Okay, let's use this. All right, let's use this. So this is pay hammer. If you can see it very well, I drew this and I sketched it out. And you'll be wondering, what is this? This looks like main things will be going through your mind. Actually, main things will be going through your mind. So I'll just quickly try to explain it. Before I go back to some other things. All right, I'll quickly explain it. So we have here the logo derivatives. The last time I called it the rationale. So you can call it anything you want. You can use any word you want. All right. So we have pay hammer here. Normally I like to play with my initials. The first thing you should do is if you want to create a logo that is I think the basic thing you could do is to play with the initials. All right. So we have the initials of the brand name. We have P and H. So what you could do is to play with them. So I drew this P. I drew the P out, and fortunately I drew it. And while drawing, one thing you can do is while drawing the first initial, look for a way to embed the second initial inside. Don't just draw, okay, I want to draw a P, just draw a straight P, just like this. You should be looking for a way, okay, as I'm drawing this P, so how can I fix in my H? How can I fix it in? So as you are drawing, you have that consciousness in mind. As you are sketching, rather, you have that consciousness in mind. All right. So that was how I derived my second letter H. All right, H. And you can see flipping it. It does not really matter. It does not have to be. It does not have to be. Okay. Let me say. Standardly placed. What do I mean by that? If you see letter H now, you might say, okay, we have to flip it downwards. So it does not really matter. It doesn't really matter. All right, it doesn't really matter. The thing is, if you can pick the letter out of it, that is the main thing. Sometimes it will you will not need to flip it. Depends on how you want to do yours. It depends on your creativity. All right, so I felt this was the way I could do it. And on that thing, I wanted to get here before I talk to you about this. And this is one of the major things I want you to get from this project. The smile. So there's what we call hammer, pay hammer. You might be surprised. What does this hammer means? You might be very surprised. But if you are in Nigeria, you should know what hammer means. When we say somebody has hammered or you don't hammer, you understand? You should know what it means. It means the person has made lots of money. It's just is a figure of speech. All right, it's a figure of speech. So this is why you have to understand your brand name, all right, within context. So if it was given to somebody maybe outside of the country, they would say, what is hammer? They might not really understand. So if you are giving something maybe outside of your geographical location, you should be able to understand. This is what I hold key. You should be able to understand the brand name. Okay, we know what is pay. All right. So what is hammer? What is hammer? It's not the literal hammer you have. It's not the literal hammer. All right. It's not the literal hammer. So I've told you what it means within context. It means somebody just made a huge sum of money. All right. Somebody received a huge sum of money or worked and got a huge sum of money. So we just use it in Nigeria. We say you don't hammer. You've made a lot of money. All right. So when somebody makes a lot of money, so this is where you have to hold on. So you get what I'm trying to tell you. So when somebody makes a lot of money, it depends on your creativity. What does the person do? The person smiles, all right? The person smiles. This smile represents two things. Two things, all right? This smile represents somebody that has made a lot of money, which is the hammer, the word hammer. And it also means after a successful transaction, you should be happy. After using a point of sale machine, maybe you just did a successful transaction, there should be a smile on your face if your transaction was successful. So this smile is just showing that, okay, we are good at what we do. Sometimes you might go to PS and just find some obstacles, maybe network or something, and you just like, okay, no network or something, and that will just give you a frown. Some might be disturbed by network, but this one they're telling, hey guy, we are good at what we do. Well, at the end of the transaction, you would smile, all right? You will smile. So that's it basically. So I just explained it. I said happiness from a successful transaction when you don't hammer. So I was trying to just add a little sarcasm. All right, I just said when you don't hammer, I just put loaded, just laugh out loud. So it depends on your client. So you just do something smart. And this is a combination of, normally you are seeing what do they call it now? You are seeing the footnote, the money, service and business. Money, service, business. Sometimes your client, okay, you might not need to include this on your logo, all right? Sometimes you might need to include it on your logo. So it's not necessary. So this is the logo on black and white. And you just have to do it black and white. So this is it on different variety of colors that it can work with, all right? Different varieties of color. Like I told you, this is okay, this is a subtle orange. Like I said, it's in between. It's like a yellow, but it depicts happiness. If you're using a yellow, it depicts happiness, all right? It depicts happiness, warmth, happiness. And we're using a shade of gray too to assist the colors we have. So you just put the color codes by the side, and that is what you typically do. And the next thing we'll just look at is adding mockups. So you just have to add some mockups, all right? You just have to add some mockups. So mockups, this is a session for mockups. So what I typically do, I know, like I said, use mockups within context, all right? Use mockups within context. So I knew this brand is official. They might need an official ID card, so I played with it. I use yellow as the background. As you can see, it's very attractive. You can see the pay hammer there, the logo, and you can see the name on white background. You can see the logo. So you just have to show your clients how will this thing work in real life. And mockups has helped us a lot to be able to visualize the way things would look, the way the mark would look on a real life object, right? So you don't have to go and print on so you don't get to do that. So you just have to do these things so your clients can see. Okay, so your clients can see. So I'll just go back to that slide. I'll go back to it. So this is it. I did a t-shirt too. Most companies they would do a t-shirt. So this is just like maybe the office, maybe they have their signature on the wall, or maybe a printing on the wall, and this is just like it's close to flower. This is just typically the full color. If you're using the background color, the main background color, you can see that it mixed white and black. All right. Why you should use, if you are doing a full color for your logo, if you are trying to show your clients the full color, or if you want to use colors on your logo. And I'm saying, why did I use white and black? Most times, most times you use these different colors just as a contrast, all right, just as a contrast. So we know that pay is not hammer. You might okay, this one is a bit friendly. Some brand name, if you put it together close together, you might just be pronouncing one word. So most times it's good to use contrast, like using the black, the pay as a black, then the hammer as white. So people get to it becomes readable. That's why most times I like using different colors. I like mixing two colors for the brand name if it's two colors, so they can easily read it. All right, they can easily read it. So you can see the money, service and business there also. Money, service and business. So you can see it. You can see it. So this is the full mark, the pay hammer. You can see the smile. The smile is just what is getting me. Just what is getting me. It's getting me to laugh. So this is it. Smart thing to do. Don't forget, create a contrast by using different colors for your mark. You can see the same thing here. This is not white and black, but this is on a white t-shirt. So what you just get to do, create a contrast. All right, create a contrast. The pay is black and the hammer is orange, and okay, you have black there. Sorry, I'm using the word orange, and I'm using the word orange and yellow. I think the first time I said yellow. So I'm interchanging them because screens might be different. Some screens it might just appear. This color is subtle, all right. This is very subtle. So sometimes I use orange. So just pardon me. Beg your pardon. So this is typically it, but I just hope you've gotten the concept. And there's something I need to still show you from this our first. There's something I need to show you. All right, like I said, this is going to appear on maybe an app icon. All right, an app icon. And this is what you would do. This one, you don't need the mockup. You can create it with maybe your Illustrator. After you're done with the Mac, you can just try the different colors. Try it here, and the company gets to decide if it's on. If this is still a style guide, all right. This is still a style guide. While I'm showing them, okay, this can be your app icon, the way it will look on mobile. Sometimes you might just use a mobile mockup, all right. But I chose not to use it here. So this is what you just show them. I know I have a lot of content coming up. Just thought of something now. I have a lot of content coming. Don't just do well to subscribe. You would thank me later, or you thank the person that shared this video to you, or you thank YouTube. So this is it. Different. So they might just choose, okay, we're going with the black, orange and white mark on the black background. They might go with this as the official app icon. So you can see the logo is very simple, yet it speaks a lot of things about the brand. So this is the way I want my designers to work. Actually, this is where I want my designers to work. Do something simple, yet it should speak. All right, it should speak. Don't worry, one video I'll just take our time to just derive a concept from scratch, and you get to see it. All right, you get to see it. So this is typically what I have for you. I don't think there's any other thing to show you. Okay. I executed this using, you can see circles around, using the golden ratio. I wouldn't have time. There are 3 ways of executing. My all these lines. Some designers must have seen all these lines on other people's work, and they will be wondering, what is all this? But there are actually 3 ways to execute logo. After you've sketched, you can use a golden ratio. They call it the golden ratio. I would explain this maybe in another video. You can use grids. You've heard of grids. You can use grid even in normal graphic work just to make the logo symmetric. I was talking about symmetry in our last episode. If you've not seen that episode, please, you've got to see it. All right. So there's golden ratio, there's grid, and there's one I would term using of basic shapes. All right, basic shapes. So you can research on the golden ratio, but I promise to talk on it next time. So this is typical. This is the golden ratio. All right, this is the golden ratios. These are the circles. You just use this circle. I executed this with Illustrator. All right, you just use this circle. You place them on. After I drew this stuff, all right, I would have loved to show you my sketch, but after I drew it on my paper, I just scanned it into my computer, and you can use your phone, you can snap it and put it on your computer, and you use your circles. Sometimes you have to use a straight line too for your golden ratio, but everything is it's not just using golden ratio for golden ratio's sake. It's just creating a symmetry. It's helping you create a balance. All right, it's helping you create a balance. So you can use your golden ratio, you can use your grid are just typically straight lines. All right, straight lines or straight shapes. But if your logo is being circular, that's when you use your logo, the form is circular, then you can go for golden ratio. Sometimes you can just bypass it, but most times you just get to use the golden ratio if there are lots of circles on your logo, like this one. It's mainly circle, just one straight line or two straight lines. All right, but if you have a lot of straight lines, there's no need. Don't just bother using a golden ratio. So that's that to execute your logo. You can do it with your Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. So that's typically it. So I would urge you to subscribe. I plead your indulgence to subscribe to this amazing channel where we expose you to real life projects, just for this series. All right, just for this series, we'll get to do other creative things, creative designs, other aspects of designs, but just for this series, we are into exposing you to real life projects. All right, real life projects, how you can package things. All right, so this is it. This is pay hammer for you. I know you've learned something. Hammer. If you're not in this country, you've learned hammer. You should. The word hammer is not the literal hammer, like I told you. I know you've learned something. Hammer means what again? I can't hear you. Hammer means what again? It means you've made a lot of money. I'll say you done hammer. I mean, you've made a lot of money. So see you next time. It's a wrap up. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe. In this series, we are still going on. I think the next one, I'm going to get somebody here so that we can look into the next brand together. I'll get somebody to join me, so we'll be looking into it together. So bye for now. Amen. Ikedi.